What is good, YouTube? Pistons Talk here. I'm joined by Speakeasy Sports. He's finally out of YouTube jail.
Yeah, man.
So we are going to talk about Sekou Doumbouya because I feel like that's just the most talked about guy right now because he's not getting a lot of playing time. So I don't know if you've been watching Pistons games over the last 3 games, but he's only played 10 minutes. So what are your, thoughts about just the way they're using him right now?
I'm still so lost on it, man. Like, I wish that we saw him on the floor so we could see why he doesn't belong on the floor, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's something wrong with him, like, can you give us a clear-cut, like, reason why? And I think you spoke on it earlier before we went live. Is it the defense then? Is that what's going on? Or
yeah, so Casey's quote, I should say Rod Beard's quote, it says, Dwayne Casey and Sekou Doumbouya, we have to find ways whether we're playing zone or whether to get Sekou minute. It's not we. It makes me think of that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Dr. Phil, when he says we. No, it's you. You have to find minutes for Sekou Doumbouya.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I really don't understand why. Like, even last night, you're down, 20 plus points, and the starters are out there all the way to the end. I mean, Blake Griffin played 32 minutes. He didn't need to play 32 minutes. The game was over. I know it looks better on the box score when it's, 110 to 101, but I'd rather, play him in garbage time and see what's there. That did not play. I mean, he couldn't even get minutes on the bike last night. Svi Mykhailiuk was kicking him off. I feel for him. I honestly feel for him. It's crazy. You got anything to add about that, or?
No, dude, it is like it's crazy, man. Like, if you're losing games, you're losing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in. You know what I'm saying? Like put the young guy in. Let's see what he could do. It doesn't hurt, especially if you're down by 20. Like, it's just a weird situation because, like, at one hand, on one side of it, I guess I do get like where Casey's at. You know what I'm saying, because he's coaching for his job. He wants to win. And he feels like the best chance at that is his veterans. But they aren't producing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we're losing games, it's not going to hurt you to put this guy in and see, like, what we're working with. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing. A lot of people are calling him Darko, which I don't think he's anywhere near on a Darko scale of a bust. I don't even think he's a bust. I think he has two-way potential. I think that if you play him the minutes, he will develop, but you have to play him. He's not going to develop watching the games. He may develop in practice a little bit. Casey said that he's going to be doing morning workouts and night workouts. But if that's your way of developing talent, then it's just not for me. You have to play in games because you can only do so much in practice, in my personal opinion.
No, I 100% agree. I think the other side of it too, and I mentioned that Dwayne's coaching for his job, but like, you're also not, the front office also isn't like forcing his hand because, one, they need to trade Blake Griffin. Like, 2, obviously it's a higher draft pick, and it's not Troy Weaver's draft pick either for him to force Casey, to put him on the floor and whatnot,
Yeah, I mean, Blake Griffin, I think he hit the nail right on the head. I got the Pistons hat. Love to see it. Love to see it. But I feel like Blake isn't going to get traded just because of that contract.
Yeah. People
are already saying, well, we can trade Blake Griffin. Any GM watching Blake Griffin right now is not going to touch that contract with a 10-foot pole. 60% of his offense is coming from beyond the arc. He can't even get in the post. And we got Detroit. Drew, what's good, man? What's good?
What up, though, Detroit Drew?
Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, I just don't really understand it. Like, if you want him to develop, you have to give him the time. If you're afraid that he can't defend and put him in zone, then put him in zone. I don't want to hear these lame, quotes after games that, I'm proud of Sekou. Nothing. I don't have any problems with Sekou. It's getting to the point where fans are like, yeah, you do. There's something wrong. How are you going to develop the talent if you don't let him play?
It's so confusing, man. And I, like I said, I just wish we seen him on the floor so we would know, man. Like let us see, because like your iteration of it or whatever you're trying to like communicate to us as the reason why he's not on the floor is making no sense to us, because we see it. We've seen sparks. It's a tough place, man. And to the Darko note, You can't call him. You can't compare him to Darko. Sekou's drafted 19th overall. Darko's what, third or fourth or some shit like that?
Yeah, third.
Not even. That's way far apart. You know what I'm saying? Darko's a bust. Sekou's a project. You know?
Yeah, Pistons fans are funny. I mean, they complain when we trade someone really early, but I hate to use this analogy, but he had Chauncey Billups, who was traded really early throughout his career, and then you want to get rid of guys that are basically doing the same damn thing, which, if you trade away Sekou, he's going to do really well somewhere else because coaches will see the talent he has. They'll see the two-way potential he has. If you give the guy a chance, he will flourish, but the coaching staff just isn't doing anything. Now, has he earned playing time? Yeah, at least bare minimum 10 to 15 minutes. I know some people want 30 minutes, which is unrealistic, but I think 10 to 15 minutes just to see what he has. And, you can get a bigger leash from the coaching staff if you're doing more. Right now, he's just a rim runner and a cutter. That three-point shot isn't consistent. When it becomes more consistent, then you get into the territory of competing with Saddiq Bey right now. Right now, he's just a better player.
Saddiq Bey.
Yeah. I don't know if you were on the above the rim when I said that. That was a very heated topic when I did talk about why Saddiq Bey is getting more minutes than Sekou, because he's more consistent from the outside.
Yeah, I feel like Saddiq Bey plays a veteran's game almost. Like he's what, Villanova, right? He came from, and you see that from those guys coming out of that school all the time. They come like NBA ready, and it may not be this big splash guy that is a superstar of the team, but they're definitely pieces, and I think that's what Saddiq Bey is, and that's why I guess he belongs on the floor. I'm saying he fits well. Sekou, I really wish I could speak more onto why he doesn't. I just there really isn't a true answer to me. Fucking just lost on the dude.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned cutting Blake Griffin's minutes down. Like, I don't like to say a minute restriction, but I mean 25 to 28 minutes would be my cap for him.
Yeah.
And there you go. You give some minutes to Sekou Doumbouya at the 4, which the Pistons believe he's going to be a 4. I don't know if you read that Athletic article this morning from James Edwards.
I have it pulled up. I didn't finish reading it, though.
I mean, he went in depth of what the Pistons see him as and what the problem is, because you have Josh Jackson in front of you. You have Saddiq Bey. You have Jeremy Grant balling out of his mind right now. There's a lot of forwards in the way. And I've mentioned that before, that there's a lot of, small forwards, but there's minute at the backup power forward, but you don't need to be playing Blake, 32 to 35 minutes a night. I know you're trying to raise his trade value by doing that, showing teams that, see, he's healthy. If you want him, you can have him. But I mean, at some point, you have to adjust the rotation.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree. And I understand like the need to like advertise Blake, but he's not. He looks like crap, man. I don't know when you're expecting him to get going. I don't know what needs. It's tough, man. It's tough for Detroit Pistons, but I still have faith in Troy Weaver. I don't know if he's going to get that Blake contract off, especially reminiscent on Drummond's deal when we got rid of him. We really got that second pick, and it's like, but it's because of the money and the production. That's the same spot we're in with Blake, who's even more money,
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Blake. Like, don't get me wrong. 2018-19, that was probably one of my favorite seasons as a Piston fan, even though we got swept. But before Blake was out, we were a 6th seed. I mean, I was just like, okay, maybe we can get our first playoff win. And then, he tears that meniscus, and he just hasn't been the same player since then. It's just trading Blake sounds good on paper, but in reality, it probably won't happen anytime soon. And maybe the last year of his contract, when it's just maybe a salary dump. You still have 2 years left. With Doumbouya, I don't know what he needs to do. I mean, there's another quote from Amari Sankofa of the Detroit Free Press saying that Sekou was the first one in the gym. Last year, he wasn't doing that. So I don't know what kind of message he's trying to send to Sekou. Like, I want you to be the first one in the gym, but go watch on the bench.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that actually makes it even more irritating, because if he's the first one in the gym, you're showing he's putting in the effort. Let him showcase it. If he's only doing it, like if you've only seen him in practice, like let him showcase his game speed and skill and everything he's been working on. Like, It is actually like the more I'm thinking about sitting here, it's kind of absurd and like really irritating as like a Pistons fan. I'm ready for Casey to be gone next year, man. Maybe even sooner than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was BetGM or some kind of gambling site in Vegas. They had Casey as the second favorite to actually get fired, him and Scott Brooks. So I really don't know what's going to happen with him. Gores, to me, as a owner, he kind of seems, focused on his own projects, focused on, making money. He's not really paying attention to the Pistons, gives the guys the money and says, whatever.
Yeah.
But
throws in a headline every once in a while.
yeah, I mean, he'll do a press conference and, media attacks him for his, off the court ventures or why the Pistons are the worst team in the NBA right now, which I'm actually kind of happy because you actually have that first overall pick right in your grasp.
Let's go. Yeah, man. I know a lot of people like feel sketchy about the lottery. I'm not one of those guys, but yeah. I know it's not a goal to be like have the best odds, for that number one pick. But back to Gores real quick. I remember it was like just a few years ago. He was like, "Yeah, I'm down to go into the luxury tax and win." And then we've done nothing. Like where have you thrown that money? You know what I'm saying? What free agents or like big trades have you brought in?
Yeah, to me, that's always seemed like kind of like a BS thing. He always says he'll do it. Like there are certain owners I know we're going way off topic with the Sekou. We're talking about Gores, but there are certain owners who will actually go in the luxury tax. I know Houston Rockets a few years ago, their owner, they went in the luxury tax for James Harden. Golden State Warriors owner, he's in luxury tax hell with all those guys over there, but they won 3 championships. It was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with Sekou. I know he's going to be in the future plans because we have him, I think, for 2, maybe 3 more years under his rookie deal. It might be 2 years. Don't quote me on that. I know someone will probably will say, hey, retard, it was 2 years, not 3 years. But
if you had to pinpoint it, though, like from your eyeball test, what is it to you that is like he's lacking?
Consistency.
On the offensive end or both?
Both. I think there's a preseason game where he dropped like 23. I don't remember who it was, but that I said if you bring that type of energy every night, there's no way any of those rookies, Sadiq Bey, or even a guy like Josh Jackson will be ahead of you in the rotation because you were constantly moving, you were cutting to the basket, you didn't miss a defensive assignment. That's what it's going to take for him to get minutes every night.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I see.
Yeah. Yeah, think too, like, because when he's hitting the floor, who's on the floor with him? Do you know, like, generally, like, is it like?
Usually when he's on the floor, assuming like Derrick Rose is healthy, so it's usually Derrick Rose, which he's usually out there. Svima Hayaluk, which that helps. Then they usually have him at the 4, so there's someone out there at the backup small forward, so probably Sadiq Bey, Sekou, and Ja. So yeah. That's a weird lineup.
It is. I'm thinking if I'm him and I want to earn minutes, maybe you try to step up on the defensive end. Because when you're hitting the floor with guys like D Rose and even Svi, who's like a shooter, you want to hit every time he's open, or he at least shoots every time he's got the motherfucker. At least it seems like there's no offensive opportunity for him. So maybe show up on the defensive end, get some minutes. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like when he does play defense, he's really aggressive, which I like to see, but he gets these ticky-tacky fouls that, most veterans will get away with, but he's just too aggressive. I mean, I was watching an old highlight of him against LeBron James, and LeBron's like, shit, like, man, get off of me. Like, straight up. Like, I love how, aggressive he is, but he's probably still learning, like, what he can get away with on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And Casey's quotes about putting him in zone so he can kind of cherry pick on defense, which, hey, if you want to do that, then do it. You do the same thing with Blake Griffin and Ja. You put them in zone because they can't defend anything.
Yeah.
Actually do it. Just don't give me a quote during an interview.
Yeah, dude. The other thing, too, is, like, if he is aggressive, some guys, like, if you get the playing time and that becomes, like, your brand, like, your style of play, like an 04 Pistons, like Isaiah Stewart, sometimes you get away with a little bit of stuff because, like, you're just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how that guy plays, I guess, like, if you become a bigger name guy. But it takes playing time and I guess, production to do that and to earn that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. But if you guys have not subscribed to Speakeasy Sports, I want you guys to go over to his channel. Go subscribe to his channel. He's almost at 1,000. What are you at? Last time I looked, it was 940.
Dude, I am at. That's a good question. I can pull up another tab real quick here. I'm at 949. So pretty much 50 away, man. 50 subscribers away.
50 away from 1K. I want you guys to go over to his channel and go subscribe. We're trying to get him to 1K. It feels like you've been at that 940 plateau for the longest time. Like,
dude, I know, man. And we were surging, man, through December. And then here comes the new year. And your boy Easy posted a video with some inappropriate YouTube content. It was blood. Yeah. But yeah. That's what happens. You do MMA on your channel too, but it's, man, if you guys help me get to 1K, I would appreciate that. It would really mean a lot to me and like the dedication, the grind. Because I love doing this, man. I love talking to you, and I love just talking sports, talking shit. It's always fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time I was on one of your live streams, you're doing I think the end of the year show, and you kind of looked like a car salesman with your suit on.
Yeah, you and Devin were getting at me.
I was like, oh, man. That he's got the suit all on. It's great. So, but I will leave a link of his channel in the description, and I should be able to tag you in the title somewhere. I don't know. YouTube's been bugging lately, but I'd like to move on from Sekou, even though he's in this, whole thing.
Yeah.
So there's been talk about, changing the starting lineup. Would you be open to changing the starting lineup? Would you like to keep it?
I'm open. This season is like, it's like being on a treadmill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing the work, you're putting stuff in, but you're not going anywhere. So like playing around with the starting lineup, sure. I mean, I don't care. I don't think anything's set in stone. I don't think Casey's going to be the coach next year. I think there's going to be a whole different approach. The one thing I do wish, and I know we're moving on from, I do wish that he did give Sekou some minutes, just because what he said to him being like the first in the gym and whatnot. Like, what expectations are you setting for the young guys when you're seeing the guy who's busting his ass the hardest isn't even getting like pity time, in blowout games? But stay playing around the starting lineup, go for it, man. Like, you're not going to be here, Casey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do whatever you want, bro. You go.
Yeah. It's funny because people are like, I was scrolling on Twitter. I don't want to name names, but a bigger Detroit YouTuber was saying, man, we got to get Plumlee out of here. And I'm thinking, man, you're 2-9. You got a top draft pick. Why change something that's working? Like Troy Weaver, he's a genius.
Yeah.
He looked at Mason Plumlee and said, who can lose me games while I rebuild this franchise? Who can actually be ass where I can actually build this franchise and rebuild this organization? Fade for Cade right now, like straight up. Cade Cunningham. Yeah. Like, seriously, like the Pistons are worst record in the league right now. Like, you got a 14% chance of getting that first overall pick. Worst you can fall is 5th.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't change the starting lineup.
I think we're losing games either way, man. Even if they played around that lineup, it's just, we don't have enough firepower. These guys are too young. We got Josh Jackson banged up. Killian's gone. We're gonna lose games regardless. But I feel you, man. Like, I'm perfectly fine with staying competitive, but yet losing at the end, because it's what I'm expecting. I'm not fine with it, but it's like, it should be your expectation.
Yeah, it's like the 2 wins they had, I'm completely fine with. Like Boston, I love beating Boston because their fans they talk so much shit. Yeah, like, straight up, like they're already whining about not getting James Harden because their trade apparently got rejected. But sure it did. Yeah. Sure it did.
I doubt that they're giving up as much as Brooklyn did to get James Harden.
Yeah, I think it was like Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, like if I'm Houston, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that trade. I'd rather have give me the one that's more cap friendly. And even if it's not, those picks, they could roll into another James Harden. Granted, there's not many James Hardens in the league, but
yeah,
if there does become one, you have freaking 7 picks to throw at him to get him.
And Houston got better. I think Victor Oladipo is a better complement to John Wall. I think they complement each other really well, and they have Christian Wood there. So I mean, Houston looks a lot better. I'm sure you probably talked about it on your YouTube channel because I know you like doing that NBA stuff.
Yeah, we actually went live. I was live yesterday, and then we were talking about the James Harden thing, and then we were entertaining it because Troy was in OKC, James was in OKC. So shout out to you, by the way. We pulled up that website you showed me with the trades, and we were just seeing like what would fit, and it was as simple as Blake. So I was like, well, this is kind of boring. Like all we have to do is give up Blake and a bunch of like draft picks. They're not going to want anything else, you know. And then so I hopped off, and then literally I think 30 minutes later they traded James Harden to the Nets. So I had hopped back on again. So I definitely did a video on that one. I think Benjamin Foe, who's always in the comment section.
Yeah, man.
he came on, dude.
Oh man, Ben's a funny guy. I love Ben. I think he was on one of our post game shows. I had a couple people on, and that was just a crazy time. Love having followers, hop on with us. But
me too.
Yeah, because you talk to the same people all the time, and the people that comment in the comment section, you never really get to hear their opinions because they're typing. I'm like, I actually want to like hear what you have to say because I respect everyone's opinion. I mean, some people may have like a really crazy hot take, and I'm completely okay with that. Like, give a shout out to my guy Lance of Mitten Sports. They were doing kind of a podcast where they would do an expansion draft and protect a couple of rookies, and he said he would let Killian Hayes go, and I was just like, bro,
wow, it's pretty early.
I know. I was like, damn, that's a hot take, but you know how expansion drafts are. You have to protect a certain amount of players, but it's really crazy.
What does this one say? With Killian hurt? Oh, go ahead and read it. I apologize.
So with Killian hurt, starters / bench, Rose Lee, shooting guard, Bates Fee, small forward, Grant Jackson, power forward, Grant Sekou, Stewart Plumlee.
I like the puke emojis at the the last two positions. No, it is always fun. Like Dominique, got to see he's always commenting too. So I always like to drop the link in the comments just to see because the other thing too, I went live earlier today. That's a lot of my stuff has been because I used to edit video when I would do my videos, and it takes time, bro. Like it takes some time to do that shit. So I like going live sometimes with my reactions, and just did one to the Lions hired Brad Holmes as their GM, and I was kind of upset. I'm not gonna lie, but I see if I drop the link in the comments, somebody could come in, maybe sell me on it because I was freaking out. It's always nice to include those guys.
I mean, I don't even follow the Lions that hard, but I know a lot of them wanted that guy from the 49ers, and then I don't even know what's going on with him. Like I know this is a Pistons talk show, but we're talking Lions.
Yeah, I apologize. Yeah,
that's okay. I mean, it's all Detroit sports. I mean, that's what we're here for, anyways. I mean, if you like the Pistons, a good chance you like the Lions. I mean, that's the way I think about it. But maybe some people don't like that. But I think that what we have to do is we have to stop photoshopping people we want because it's just a curse. We did it last year with LaMelo. We just photoshopped him in a Piston jersey like crazy.
Yes.
I saw Lions fans photoshopping that coach in Lions gear. I was like, bro, it's going to break your heart when he goes somewhere else.
Bro, and honestly, though, I think we need to do the same with Cade. I think we need to slow the road just a little bit, you know what I'm saying, just so we don't get our hearts broken because, it could be one of those situations. But with that said, did you watch the highlights with us on the we watched a couple of the big man. I can't think of his name.
Evan Mobley?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if we got that guy, man. I feel like
I know I mentioned it. It feels like almost a month ago. And someone was like, oh man, you're crazy. And I upload a video a couple days later. He was just like, you know what? I'm coming around on that Evan Mobley pick. Someone's like, I see a more aggressive Christian Wood. I'm like, I'm okay with it, even though we have 15 centers.
Yeah. I like that he's he shares the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I like that because if we're not a team that's going to have a star, that's what we need to excel. I mean, look at the Nuggets or look at the way we've won in the past. Yeah. Even back to the bad boys in our 04 going to work Pistons. It was team ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. With the Nets trade, I was like, man, there's one basketball. You have 3 isolation players. I was just like, I actually don't see it working out. I see a lot of frustration. I see a lot of the media having a field day with it, of them failing. I don't know, what's to say not trading Kyrie for Russ and just run back to 2012 Thunder with all 3 of them on the same damn team, straight up.
Hey, Kyrie's acting a fool enough that maybe that happens, man.
Straight up.
Because from your perspective, I don't know if you did a video on it or not. I think maybe I did it after the league. Who cares? It was yesterday, but who won the trade in your eyes?
I honestly think the Houston Rockets won the trade. And that might kind of sound crazy because you're getting rid of a top shooting guard in the league, but he obviously didn't want to be there anymore. And he was a distraction.
Oh, yeah.
And, even DeMarcus Cousins said, you know what, it's been a problem since day one. He's kind of been an a-hole. And I think them getting Oladipo, I think Karis LeVert going to Indiana, watch out. That guy is going to ball out in Indiana. And the way Indiana is playing, that backcourt, Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert, that's a really underrated backcourt. Probably not a lot of people talk about it because they're in Indiana, but Indiana getting that, and then somehow Cleveland gets another center out of it. Like,
I was just gonna say, bro, like Cleveland just like, give us Jarrett Allen, who's a very viable center. Like, like I'm really high on Jarrett Allen. I like him a lot, dude.
He's a lot better than Drummond too. He's a lot better than Andre Drummond. Like, they're talking about trading Andre Drummond.
I mean, they got to at this point. There's like a center purgatory there. It's,
I know. I mean, they were in the group chat last night saying how they wanted Drummond back, and I was like, "Oh, you guys don't mean that."
Yeah, come on, man. I'm cool. The only way I would want Drummond back is if we had a James Harden, someone who's like just shooting, putting up threes. I'd love Drummond to clean him up and give him another chance at the three spot. But that's not our team right now.
Let's be real. If the Nets don't win a chip this year, they have no future, and they lost their pieces. You know what I was thinking? It reminds me a lot of back in the day when the Celtics had their big three and the Nets say, hey, we want that. So they had like Paul Pierce, Darren Williams, Joe Johnson. Like, that was a playoff team. But they traded away all their draft picks again. It's like they didn't learn from the first time. Like, they just got out of like getting the draft picks back.
That's very true. That's very true. I will say this though. Those guys are a lot older than these, than KD and Harden. Like they're at that, they're on the decline of their career.
Oh yeah. I was just saying it's similar. I don't want to compare the two. I know someone will probably say, "Dude, you're retarded." Like, no, I'm not comparing that.
Who cares, man? It's always there. I think the Rockets are going to have a lot better ball movement and a lot more flow to the offense without Harden. It's true, but the Nets are obviously still a better team, right? Like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they can get Kyrie back, not partying with Drake, then yeah, that's a really fun team to watch. They'll probably put up like 140, but give up 130. Defensively, I mean, Bruce Brown is probably their best perimeter defender, and he is just balling out. Like, past two games, I know Kyrie hasn't been there. That is a trade that we definitely lost. Straight up.
You think so?
Yeah, I still don't agree with that Bruce Brown trade. It still bothers me to this day.
Really? Bruce Brown?
I know he's just a rotational piece, and people are telling me to stop crying, get over it. I'm like, man, DeLon Wright's averaging 8 points a game right now. Like, Bruce Brown could give you that with better defense. Like, and he's 24, and he's only on a $1.6 million contract. And DeLon's like, I don't know, 10, 11 million? It's like,
I don't know. I could care less to have Bruce Brown. I feel like he's gonna look better over there because he's playing with, like KD. Like, you're gonna look a lot better when you have like a guy like that on the court with you, But back to that trade, I guess it's kind of weird because there's two ways of looking at it too. Because like right now, obviously the Nets won, right? Because there's not too many times in history where like you put a collective like that and they haven't won a championship within like 3 years.
Yeah,
like, between the Heat and the Warriors. I mean, it's kind of only once, really.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of it personally. Like, these because it's so bad for the NBA. Because the NBA has so many star players out there, and when you could arguably say that, like, Kevin Durant, what would you say, a top 3 small forward? I'd put him number 1 right now,
all time.
Yeah, just like in the league right now, like him, LeBron, Giannis, probably top 3.
Yeah.
James Harden, easily probably the best shooting guard in the NBA.
Yes.
Kyrie Irving, you could say top 10 point guard.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
It's just so bad for the NBA because there are small market teams out there that don't have those star players. Like Sacramento, all they have is De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just bad for the league. The small market teams like us. I mean, you need stars. It's just watered down. They're like maybe 3 or 4 teams you actually think they can win the championship this year.
No, I agree. And if last year I was super excited before COVID, obviously, but like it felt every team, there were no like one team that you for sure was going to win it. Every team had two pieces, you know, it was like my 2 versus your 2, let's go. But then now the Nets are like, yeah, fuck that. Kyrie, Bruce Brown, Harden, KD, and Jordan. That would be the Nets' best lineup in the playoffs come around. I can.
Yeah.
Are you really putting Harden at the 3 though? I've never seen that in my life.
He could. I don't know. I feel like KD would have to switch out with him a lot on defense. But I could understand the standpoint from like a play because playoff basketball is a lot different from regular season basketball. Everything slows down. So
yeah,
I'm sure Harden could like lock in, you know, play the passing lanes. He definitely could. Can somehow we trade Casey? I mean, they traded Doc Rivers. I don't know if any team in their right mind would trade for Dwayne Casey right now. Like Dwayne Casey as a coach and like just a human being, but his quotes, man, like I don't know what to really think of them. They're really like they're contradictory. Like it's a youth movement. Go sit on the bench. I don't like you. You made a mistake. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, can't. I don't think anyone wants Casey, man. I don't think anyone wants Casey.
Yeah, Steve, straight up. I'm over teams having 3 superstars. Giannis is the real G for staying in Milwaukee.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, too, to the small market standpoint. You have a situation like that with Giannis who should attract free agents, but he's in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even then, it's hard for them to compete, even when you have a star.
Yeah, I mean, they did their best to get Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and all that stuff. Ben just said, damn, I'm late. I would have jumped on. I mean, you still can. You still can, Ben.
Ben was on reacting to the James Harden trade yesterday with me, too.
Kenny Atkins. I like Kenny. I don't even know where he's at. I feel like someone's at the Clippers. I'm not really sure. I have to look it up.
We'll reach out to the Google machine. He is. I don't think he's anywhere right now.
Yeah, Clippers assistant.
Clippers? Okay. Damn, Google no respect to let me know that. Giannis will be gone in 2 years, Ben says. I feel like he wants to win enough to where like that can happen. I was thinking that last night too, is like you do the right thing by staying with your hometown team, the team that drafted you and gave a chance. Mm-hmm. But then you see these like guys like Harden and KD who jump to these super teams, and then they get rings. It's like, fuck, like I'm doing like what's supposed to be the right thing, but like I'm not getting, you know what I'm saying, like the pay for it. Not the pay, but the results, the championships, the rings.
So Detroit Ghost, you've been asking a lot of questions. I don't even think you can get this done in 2K. Derrick Rose for Kyrie Irving. I mean, if this was like MVP Derrick Rose, you could have a conversation about this trade. It'd actually be realistic, but definitely not realistic. One's on a $30 million contract, one's on a $7 million contract, and we're pretty close to the cap.
Yeah.
Competing needs to open up a super max. That way, some ways could be 5 or 10, however many players can sign another 4. I mean, that could work, actually. That's actually pretty smart.
So maybe it needs to open up a super max that way to decide 5 or 10, however many players can sign. Yeah. It'd be weird. I think things would stay the same. They'd find a way around it, though. What veterans do you think they're going to add to this team? Because they dropped. They got rid of a lot of guys to the Nets.
I mean, if you want scoring, Isaiah Thomas, but you need defense right now. I don't really know who's a free agent.
We were looking yesterday. There's not much, man.
Yeah, actually, I know they had the G League draft, and this kind of funny. Jello Ball didn't even get drafted in the G League draft.
Well, we're the bum franchise that let him go.
Yeah. All the G League teams said nope,
Yeah.
nope. I was like, wow.
How many G League teams are there?
I don't even know. I want to say there's at least 15. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot not everybody opted in this year. Yeah, actually, this is kind of fucking a wrap this year, huh? The Nets got it sealed up unless somebody gets hurt. I can't see the Lakers beating them.
I feel like the Lakers could match up with them really well, and I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to gel. I'm still really high on LeBron. Like every time I bet against LeBron, he proves me wrong. Like,
Yeah.
You can't bet against the guy unless he gets hurt. And then it's just like a cakewalk to the championship.
That's the craziest thing about LeBron is like he hasn't really been hurt other than that Lakers year. Like,
yeah,
that's just absolutely insane. You look at all these stars and like the time management and load management and whatnot. And like LeBron doesn't get hurt, bro. And his entire like reign of the NBA. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Brian knows everything. 15, including the Ignite. Yeah. I was actually listening to him a couple days ago on their podcast. I'm so behind on their podcast, honestly.
Where do I find their podcast real quick? I apologize because I was looking for it on YouTube and I couldn't find it. And then he said he wasn't on YouTube. Now I don't know where he's at.
They're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's Locked On Pistons. Him and his brother, Matt, host Locked On Pistons.
Okay.
Yeah, I've met Matt like one time. He was like hosting a contest at a Pistons game, and he's like, whoever likes this first gets a Locked On Pistons t-shirt. And I liked it first, and I met him for like a couple minutes. He's a really nice guy. Does a lot of work on that podcast. But I mean, there's so many Piston podcasts out there now. It's crazy.
It is wild, man. Have you noticed a little decrease in the numbers since Jello like left the team? Not left the team, but was dropped.
Just like viewership?
Yeah.
I feel like a little bit. Like I can kind of tell like when I'm posting, like when Jello's on the team, like my like post on Instagram, I was getting like 1,200 likes, and then I would be getting like, "Hey, where's Jello? Hey, where's Jello?" I'm like, I don't know, on the bench. Here's a question if you want to answer it too. Wright, Bay, Grant, Blake, Mason. Huh? Bay at the 2. That's interesting. What do you think about that?
I like Bay at the 2. I mean, he's a little bit thicker, but when I look at that, I think of Klay Thompson. He's a bigger guy that plays the 2 spot, and he can shoot like Klay Thompson. Right? I guess in the absence of Killian Hayes, yeah. I mean, he could share the ball. Grant the 3. I hate to disrespect Blake, man, but I'm ready to like move on and see like what Sekou can do and whatnot. Though I will say that.
Man, I remember I wanted Gary Payton II, like during the draft, because he was like a real defensive point guard. I think he was on the Wizards last year, and he was carving up the Pistons. I think he had a triple-double against the Pistons last year.
No, for real?
Yeah, like
he's just a free agent right now.
Yeah, it's Gary Payton's son.
Do you have a terrible like rest of the season? What happened?
I don't know. I mean,
that's wild.
Shabazz Napier. I remember the Pistons almost traded for him a long time ago. Really long time ago.
Didn't LeBron like throw a fit to make sure that they drafted him and then he just like dipped out? From what I remember.
I know who you're talking about. It was a point guard. I can't remember his name.
Was it Shabazz Napier or was maybe someone else?
I think it was. Yeah, it was Shabazz Napier.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that's some whole shit. Because they didn't want to draft him. They did it for you, and then you're like, all right, I'm back to Cleveland. Like,
oh man, like, I'm glad. What's it?
No, go ahead. What were you about to say?
I have no idea. I completely lost my train of thought.
You know what used to drive me crazy about that Heat team, especially as a Pistons fan, who when we weren't good at that time, that arena never filled up. How do you have that fucking team? Like no one's going to like this game. I guess Miami, you're partying and shit probably, but
it's expensive down there, man. It's stupid. Like I think Piston games are expensive. Like when I went, but man, they're so damn expensive. Yeah. Like I looked up a ticket when I was down there. It's like $100. It's not even lower bowl. It's like upper bowl. It's like, and then parking and everything like that. It's just like.
Yeah, parking's a bitch. That's like the most annoying part of going to the games, dude.
Pain, Brian. Why do you got to bring those guys up? I guess Musa signed overseas already.
Yeah, what's the issue with Dwayne Dedmon? I always thought he was like a solid guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like he would have been a really good. I feel like he'd be an upgrade over Mason Plumlee. Like, obviously, they're not the same type of centers, but that man can stretch out the floor. He can block some shots. He was really good in San Antonio. I think he was in Atlanta, and he got traded to Sacramento, and he wanted no parts of Sacramento. So I really don't know. Really don't know.
I got a question for you, if you don't mind. Just because the Cavs just grabbed Jarrett Allen, where do you think Drummond lands? Like, what are some teams that could use him, and who'd be willing to take on the money? It's just 1 year, but do you think he falls on the contender?
I think teams that fit him are the Boston Celtics, which I doubt they want to trade for him because of, like you said, the cap hit. I think the Toronto Raptors need a center that rebounds. They're really bad right now, which is good for us because we have their second round draft pick. So that pick's like in the 30s instead of like the 40s and 50s, like people thought they were. It's so weird. Like the Clippers, I think would be a really good fit for Drummond. I feel like he would fit really great there. I don't know what the Clippers would give up to, land a guy like Drummond. I know the Cavs probably want something for him, but they're going to see what, the Pistons tried to get. They're going to get shit offers because the value for him in the trade market, it's just not as high as people think it is.
Yeah.
Not to say he's a bad player.
No,
He's a good player when he locks in.
I think he's averaging his highest right now, most points right now in Cleveland.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, it's just Cleveland has like more centers than we do. If you look at it, they have a lot.
I almost feel like his trade value is more now that like the back to super teams, trading him off, because I feel like if he goes anywhere, maybe a contender or someone who's like just on the cusp. I was thinking Atlanta, maybe like grabbing him.
Yeah, they're a weird team because they drafted Okongwu and then they have Clint Capella.
That's true.
I feel like if they were really on a Drummond trade, probably Clint Capella would go away, because I know Atlanta was interested in him last year, but they weren't interested in giving the Pistons anything serious. So I feel Miami would want him, but not at $30 million.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is the money. I think that's why his value was so like low when we moved him, was because the money along with the production just didn't add up.
All right, so Ben wants to hop in here, so I'm going to send him a link real quick.
Okay.
I haven't talked to Ben probably since the last live stream. So
Ben and Brian are always in the comment section with the facts and the numbers that like you don't like have on hand. It's so clutch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how Brian remembers all the shit he remembers, honestly. Like, I can't even remember passwords to like my accounts on like social media. Like, I have to change them every time I forget.
Brian like comments and like let you know, oh yeah, it's a Saban Lee 28.
Oh man. Also, public service announcement. There are a lot of fans that wanted Obi Toppin. I here to let you know that he played 47 seconds of garbage time yesterday. Okay, yeah.
Thibodeau's like one of those coaches too, though, who only plays like the vets. Yeah, he only plays young guys.
I think he came back from an injury too, so maybe that's why. But I mean, if you look at Obi Toppin, I think he's already 22 or 23. What's it?
No, I was to say, what's Halliburton been doing?
He's been balling. I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all. What's good, Ben?
What up, though, Ben?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My mic good?
Yeah, you good?
Okay. Last time I was in your channel, man, I was like, sheesh. My mic was loud as hell.
There was a guy. He got so pissed off. He thought Ben was eating food, but it was his mic cutting in and out. He's like, "It's so rude. It's so rude."
It's ASMR.
My bad.
No.
Oh man, you think my wiretap? Nah, man.
No, you know how they do like those people. All the young kids are doing the ASMR videos for like the longest.
Yeah, I don't watch. I know what you're talking about. I don't watch those.
No, I don't watch them either, man.
The whole eating wings with all close to the mic, that's just annoying and gross.
Bro, that's happened to me, bro. I put it on mute so it don't. That's the YouTube video I came back with when we, from fresh out of YouTube jail. We did the Hot Wings MMA challenge, or whatever. Still got the hot sauce in the mic, man. I don't know how to. Do you wash these or like maybe a toothbrush? I don't know. What you give my eye?
I tried. I can't show the whole picture to it. Can I change it?
Can you change your picture? Yeah, you should be able to.
I want to change so you can see the whole picture. It's hilarious.
I'll be right back, guys. If not, I'm gonna be in the comment section. I gotta go. Oh shit! Oh, where'd he go?
He left.
I think we're gonna change his picture, maybe.
Yeah.
Nick, Thumb Maker does not suck. I do liquid ASMR. That's so funny. Oh, Nick's that. Oh, damn. What are these rookie of the year numbers?
Yeah, LaMelo, then Tyrese, then James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, Cole Anthony, Peyton Pritchard. Wow. Shout out to Peyton Pritchard and Obi Toppin.
I'll be back, fellas.
All right.
What up, Detroit Ghost?
Nothing. Did you fix the picture? It looks the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me change it. It says I can only do it one time without signing up or whatever.
Oh, that's, I don't know. StreamYard it's tripped all the damn time. So I don't know where Easy went. I think he just went in the comment section for a minute.
Money line to Melo Ball. Tyrese Halliburton. How's Tyrese Halliburton been doing?
Great, man. I think he's the most efficient rookie out there right now, like it's shooting wise. And I wanted my
snag them.
I did. I know the other guys, they clown me for it. I was just like, if you want an NBA ready guy, that's your guy. But I mean, I like him.
I think he'd be nice though. I think he's coming off the bench right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing off ball a lot, that's what the Pistons are, doing with Killian. I mean, you have him coming off ball, shooting those deep threes. I mean, that would have been
he's playing off ball. I thought he was an on ball player. That's crazy.
No, Casey's so weird. He's like, yeah, let's play Killian off ball when that's not his strength. And then he looked like complete ass. I was like, what are you doing?
I'm not going to lie, though. I've watched Killian. Sometimes it's like he takes himself out of plays. I don't know if you noticed that. Have you noticed that, though? Like sometimes he takes himself out of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Yeah, he'll pass it to Mason or Blake to initiate the offense, and he kind of just takes a step back and sees what's going to happen with the play. He's just like, yeah, you guys do it. Because
if you go watch those Atlanta highlights, it's one play where he has a 2-on-1 with Jeremy Grant, and he just pulls himself out of the play, and Cam Reddish just hawks him down and blocks it off the backboard. I'm like, what are you doing? It's a 2-on-1.
Yeah, I'm still high on Killian. It's just that injury isn't
Oh no, I like him.
Yeah, that injury sucks. But I mean, after I talked to that doctor, she pretty much assured me he'll be 90%, straight up.
Oh yeah. That's psychiatrist next though for Casey. You gotta see what's going on.
Damn, man, Halliburton is doing numbers.
13, 6 assists, 3 boards, and 1 steal. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
In Sacramento too.
Yeah. What's the record though?
13 to 6. I think that's comparable to Andre Miller. I think his rookie year, right?
That's who I compared him to too. That's actually funny you said that.
oh, that's crazy.
I was 5 and 7. The Kings are actually only one game out, I think, of a playoff spot. I mean, it's pretty much like a big ass tie. You know how it's probably like that both ways, huh?
Damn, 52 from 3. Damn.
Wow, that hurts.
Yeah.
That's actually insane. I can see numbers. You put up numbers on a bad team because there's not many options, but that's different when you're shooting 52%. That's.
Have you seen some of the threes he's taking though?
No, are they crazy?
They're 5-10 feet away from the 3-point line. He's pulling up like he's Steph and Dame out there, and they're just going in like splash. I was like, man.
Dang, man.
Mike says Tyrese doesn't have as much weight on his shoulders as Killian.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, they're both bad teams. They're not really expecting much out of either.
That's a good point, though, because you got De'Aaron Fox out there, though.
Yeah.
I think the Kings have more playoff hype than the Pistons really did.
Yeah. Realistic playoff hype. We have the local playoff hype because people sip that Kool-Aid, but
That team what? Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox, like you said.
Yeah, I think
Is Buddy Hield still out there?
Yeah,
they said
Yeah,
Harrison Barnes, and he's gone.
he's still there.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's balling right now.
I thought they were going to be a playoff team a couple years ago, man. I'm kind of disappointed. I feel bad for De'Aaron Fox, or if he's just not living up to expectations. I mean, I don't know. I haven't paid much
When's the
attention.
last time the Kings have made the playoffs?
Chris Webber, probably.
I was like 12.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I think I was around the same age too. It was like the Peja Stojakovic days. Like it's been a long time.
Yeah, like the Mike Bibby days.
Yeah,
When they were balling out there, and they got screwed by the Lakers.
You guys see Mike Bibby lately?
Dude, he's jacked.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that dude's huge. Don't even look like the same person.
Wow, that's a high PER for a rookie. I think last time I looked, Killian's was 5. Halliburton's 20.
So what is that? PER.
Player efficiency rating.
Okay.
Tells you how efficient they are.
I might have to watch him. I'm gonna have to watch him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch him too.
I think a lot of them people just didn't like him because he has an ugly game. I think that's why a lot of people don't like him.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I've never watched him. I can't even speak on it.
He has an ugly jump shot. He's kind of like herky jerky. A lot of people don't like that.
Is he creating his shots though? Or is he a beneficiary of De'Aaron Fox? Is how Buddy Hield elevated once Fox got there, or
From the last game I watched, he played off ball a lot, which that was his strength. That's why I thought he would go really high in the draft for a team that needed a shooting guard. I thought Atlanta would be a perfect fit with him and Trae Young. Man, they'd be splashing threes like crazy. But that was the thing with he went to the Kings a 12 or 11 or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Atlanta draft. I forgot.
Okongwu.
Oh yeah.
He's already hurt.
So
they already had what's his name? Clint Capella. I didn't know why they drafted him. I was kind of confused by that.
Since we know the Pistons are going to be probably most likely a top 5 pick, who are the other guys that are there? Because I know we discussed about Mobley. I know Cade Cunningham is there.
Jalen Green.
Suggs.
Yeah, Suggs will be there too.
There's one kid. Damn, they compared him to Kelly Oubre. I think his name was Terrence. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm mad. I can't think of it.
So top 5, they have Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. He's a small forward, and Jalen Green. So I mean, I like Jalen Green a lot. Kind of gives me Donovan Mitchell vibes a little bit.
Terrence Shannon Jr. Check that kid out. He plays for Texas Tech.
Okay.
He dropped 20-9 last week. 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. He got 29 against.
Man, they got him ranked 23rd to the Pacers right now.
Wow.
He has a Kelly Oubre type game, but his frame isn't. I think he has smaller arms than him. I think that's the only difference.
6'6", 210. That's not
Do
bad.
you guys think the depth in this year's draft was because there wasn't the tournament and stuff like that, or do you think truly it was that many good players?
Oh, this draft's going to have a lot of wings.
Yeah.
If you need a wing, this is the draft to get one. There's so many wings in this draft.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Because all these names you've been naming, the top tier guys are all kind of pretty much wings. But some of the 2020 draft, when we got Killian,
mm-hmm.
Do you think there's actual depth in it, or do you think it was just due to no tournament time and you know what I'm saying, more evaluation on some of these guys?
I never
kind of early.
I never agreed with the notion that it's a weak draft. I never thought it was a weak draft. I thought this year's draft has a lot of role players. Peyton Pritchard was an absolute steal for the Celtics. He was D'ing Killian up really bad. He looks like Eminem out there.
Did Toronto get a guy too? I can't think of his name. That point guard.
Oh, I know. Oh, something Flynn. I know.
Light skinned guy.
Yeah. He's pretty cold too.
There's a Curry type game to him. I think it's some different in this draft. Just everybody thinks you have to have 5 superstars in one draft for it to be a great draft. It doesn't always work like that.
They really don't.
Christopher. Yeah, I can take a look at it. Like I said, I'm not going to act like I'm an expert. If you guys want me to look at someone, I will.
Malachi Flynn. I think that's it. Malachi Flynn.
Malachi Flynn. I see Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, that guy's top 5 right now.
So these are the guys like we're looking at. So I'm gonna watch them tonight because that's most likely what's gonna go down next year.
Oh, he plays at Arizona State. He's a guard. Josh Christopher.
Hey Ben, earlier we were talking about playing Sadiq Bey at the 2. How you feel about that?
I would like it better than Josh Jackson. I mean, for being honest, I'm still not on the Josh Jackson train.
No.
I mean, I want to be, but when I watch him, I'm just like, he's okay. Makes a lot of bad decisions. Gets stripped a lot of the basket. Handle still hasn't really. I think Memphis utilized him best at the 4 when he was in Memphis. I feel like that was a good move for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do as much decision making. It's just stand in the corner, play defense, occasionally bring the ball up.
Do you think he's ailing from injury at all? Because he has slowed down like quite a bit. He was like looking like, I won't say phenomenal, but he definitely looked like damn good before. Josh Jackson I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm just not a big Josh. And I was heavy on Josh Jackson when he first got drafted. I was like, oh, this guy got snagged. Now it's just wrong. I was super wrong.
Sucks to be wrong sometimes. Yeah. It sucks to be wrong even more so like when you do it on YouTube. I went to go check my my subs just now. I'm getting all these comments on my reaction video to the GM thing. People are mad as hell. I'm like, bro. It is what it is, baby.
I mean, I think what people like Stephen A. Smith go through. He was just saying guy complaining that the New York Knicks didn't draft Justice Winslow over Kristaps Porzingis. It happens.
That's true.
You just never really know.
You really don't, man. Freaking Giannis. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
Oh yeah. People love, we could have drafted Giannis. Like, bro, nobody wanted to go see him.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I guarantee no one was saying that too at that time, you know, like
people bring up Rudy Gobert. I'm like, bro, he had one of the worst draft tapes in NBA history. Like, what are you talking about? Like, just sometimes that happens.
Yeah. I'm not even like a big fan of Rudy Gobert either, man.
Yeah, but from the worst draft tape in history to $200 million, that's a big gap.
Yeah. What?
I should have kept Patricia. Is that his burner account?
No, it's Nick. You know, Nick's always Nick's the Amish guy.
Yeah, no, he's always trolling.
He said, "Do you realize Josh Jackson is just getting his groove back?" I mean, you know, I'm not just out on him, but you know, I'm kind of not as hype as a lot of people are. I'm not saying he's bad.
I like him. I think he'll be a piece, or like I think he like matured, and obviously he's always had a skill set. He was drafted really high, but I don't know if he's like ever going to be like a number 1 option or anything like that. But he'll be what Derrick Rose is now, maybe. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it kind of does.
Who can you compare Josh Jackson to right now? I'm trying to think.
Kelly Oubre before he popped off.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pistons need to hire Patricia.
Who said that, Nick?
Jacob.
Another Jacobs. Need to hire Patricia. I mean, I'm good on that. I mean,
hey, I mean, I said it before. I don't know. You want me to say it again? I was going off the easy juice last time, but we need to hire the girl who got the Suns right. I'm just saying. You know, I had Kendra last time. I'm gonna try to get her next. I'm like, hey, when you.
I just realized what you're talking about. Okay. What is that? Like, do they hire a coach or something? Okay, I get what you're talking about now.
Yeah. We'd be winning some games, but not for the right reasons.
She got that team chemistry right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the players wouldn't mind it either.
Yeah, I agree, Dominic. That Suns game, you could tell he was trying extra hard to try to get points. It wasn't working. I think Casey had pulled him. He had took like 3 bad shots in a row. He was like, no.
I remember he shot a 3 and Casey looked at him and he was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like he was just trying to like so hard. Like I get it. It's just like that's your former team. They drafted you, let you go after you had a DUI. I get it, but
that's kind of crazy, man, that they did that. or maybe they just couldn't trade him. Is what it was. I don't know. Josh Jackson's a great player. Just needs another week at most to be fully recovered from the injury. I feel that. That's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
Because you look at the numbers before the injury, like that's it. You know what I'm saying? After the injuries, it's not the same guy. So I think he's still a little bit ailed by that.
They're obviously not playing to win. They got me lost. Them boys be out there playing hard.
Yes.
They might be losing, but they playing hard.
Big facts.
Pistons are playing the win, so Sekou not. Yeah, I mean, Casey pretty much politely said you're ass defensively in his quotes today. He didn't necessarily say it, but you can kind of read it.
What did he say?
He said we got to find Sekou some minutes, maybe put him out there in zone defense.
Man,
I mean, the writing's on the wall though for Sekou, man. Like if you want the PT, I mean, I was spoken on earlier too. Like play defense, man, because in that lineup, I don't think you're going to be the number one scorer. And obviously, your criticism from your coach was defense. So that's an effort stat, is it not? It's like an effort, like side of the floor.
I mean, even that Athletic article, it hinted that Sekou defensively isn't consistent as Sadiq Bey is, which I would probably agree with. Like Sadiq Bey,
that's okay. Blake Griffin needs to be on the bench.
hey, you feel me? Bro, for real though, because there was one play I seen. I was like, did you just lose all your the fucking Space Jam monsters come and just take all your athleticism? Like, I forget who it was. They stepped up and he was like, oh, on ice skates. I'm like, Blake, what the what?
And I'm sure he blamed somebody else for it. Like, what are you doing? No, that's your man.
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve about Blake is his crybaby-ness. I know LeBron does it, but Blake was some of his was inexcusable. That's what never got the leadership quotes. I got it. They aren't playing Sekou because if they play him, the Pistons will win. So that's why they are not playing him. I mean,
I don't even think that's anywhere near why they're not playing him. I don't even think if they put him in the starting lineup, they'd win more games.
Nick said type W if the Lions should have kept Quinn.
Hell no.
Hey Nick, go to the reaction video I did to Brad Holmes' troll people who are being mean to me right now.
Yeah, I agree. Giannis is a crybaby. When he tried to fight Stewart with his brother, whatever, he was just standing there like, nah, it's not gonna happen today.
Then he freaking tackled Jeremy Grant last night on the floor when the game's basically over for the ball. He literally just elbowed him in the back of the head. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Giannis is a savage.
I prefer to rely on Sekou offensively at this time.
Isaiah played a hell of a game. Hopefully, he takes some Plum Goat minutes. Plum Goat.
Hey, you guys remember when Detroit Drew said WAP stand for White Ass Plumlee?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's funny. Bad, bro. That's so funny. How do we sign Frank Jackson over Isaiah Thomas and some of these point guards I'm looking at on the free agent list? That's crazy.
Bro, we should have went and got Bryn Forbes. I was telling Pistons talk that a long time ago. Now he's doing good in Milwaukee. What?
I can't believe he was a free agent that long. That's kind of wild to me too.
He was only making $2 million.
Yeah, he's a key piece. He does what he needs to do to win.
Yeah, I mean, San Antonio, they find those gems and then they develop them, and then when they get good, they're screwed. Big Stew. Okay, I thought he said beef stew. I thought I started something really bad. Big Stew will get his minutes. I like how our announcers was shocked when he shot a 3. Laughed my ass up.
That was hilarious.
I missed it.
That was hilarious.
I don't have FSD, so I didn't get to hear George freaking out.
Oh man, George's a legend, man. Freaking legend of the city.
Blake Griffin only thing holding back that 4 rebuild.
Plumlee airball. Plumlee always airball. He's always airball something
Yeah, he's from Michigan State. Bryn Forbes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember watching him. He used to kill the Wolverines every time they'd leave him open.
Bum ass Denzel Valentine. That's the only part from Michigan State. Denzel Valentine, bro. I hated that dude the whole time he was there, bro.
For real?
And then he got cooked on YouTube by some dude who worked at a cell phone shop.
Wait, what? What happened on YouTube?
He got beat by a guy who was a cell phone manager or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I thought he was gonna be sweet, man. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna be a big, point forward type thing. I'm also a Michigan State fan though. That's probably what that was.
Man, it's always like every time I look, the guy's injured. Like, I don't think he's played like a full season yet with the Bulls. He's always freaking injured.
It don't
Yeah.
matter. He's garbage. He's
Yeah.
When I lost to Middle Tennessee State, I was like, oh, yeah, he's not the truth.
You don't think Troy can pull off a Blake trade? No, I don't. I really don't. Not without giving up a lot.
Yeah, you have to give one of our young guys and one of our picks, which, I mean, that's what Troy needs is his pick. So if you truly want the Pistons to build, you don't want us to get rid of those.
Yeah, I mean, we probably could have got the Jared Allen, but who knows?
Yeah, that was fucking irritating because that's a spot we could have grew. But this is last year? This is the last year of Jared Allen's deal too, isn't it?
Yeah. So he could walk potentially, but
yeah,
I feel like he could resign in Cleveland because they have a nice core over there.
Yeah,
Blake to the Rockets. I wish. Oh man, give them D Rose.
I got Christian Wood. I don't need Blake.
I cannot think of a single team that could use Blake Griffin, like where he wouldn't make them worse.
And maybe if they expand the NBA like they were talking, and they just want to sell tickets, I can see that. It's about the only way.
That's the thing, though. I was going to say that too. Like you can't even trade them to sell tickets like we got them for because like there's no fans.
Yeah,
give him the Charlotte, the salary dump.
There you go. I'll be down with that. Bro, how about the resurgence of Gordon Hayward, bro? Have you seen the numbers this guy's putting up?
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. Someone brought it up to me. I'm like what? And I looked it up. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna look it up right now. Actually,
yeah, I haven't even.
Oh, Nick, that's out of pocket.
What Nick said? Nick be wilding, bro.
Blake for Kenny Atkinson and his wife.
Oh yeah, Dominic. Stewart's gonna be swole, like for real. That dude's gonna be swole.
Oh man.
Bro, he dropped 44 against Atlanta. I guess these are kind of trash teams though too. 34 in the Knicks, 28 in Cleveland, 28 in Brooklyn.
He said the G League can use Blake Griffin.
The Mavs. I don't know unless we like take on James Johnson's huge contract.
Which I'd be cool with, bro. James Johnson brings some toughness.
Yeah, black belt. He's crazy.
Fair. You know I do my MMA stuff. That's why I want him too. Hey, bro, imagine us getting like a team fight with like Isaiah Stewart and James Johnson on our squad. Like it's a wrap.
Do you remember when Andre Drummond elbowed him in the side of the face?
No.
Bro, I was like that was the one player I was like, he did it twice again because he postered him like really bad. Like you could just look up James Johnson dunks on Drummond, and then Drummond like puts his elbow out and
was that when he was in Toronto?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like pull up the highlights because YouTube will just copyright that shit so damn fast. But I mean, I remember
Johnson tried to body on Steph Curry that year too. Remember, he tried to take the charge and he dunked on that was crazy.
The one person who always bullied Drummond and he wouldn't like fight back, it always pissed me off, and that's why I kind of like lost faith in him was Westbrook. I was like, man, why you letting this like 6'4" guy, like you 7 foot, man, like do something, bro. Like why you letting him bully you like that? Fuck.
who's James Johnson?
Role player.
Role player that's paid like a star.
Yeah.
Blake Rose for
moments in
Kuzma.
Miami.
Oh.
Blake Rose for Kuzma and THC. What kind of THC, man?
No, that Horton guy over in
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, man. Kind of THC, man. That's funny. I would do that, but the Lakers wouldn't do that. I know that.
I want to keep Rose.
Oh yeah, Embiid used to. Oh my. Whew. Man, Embiid used to get Drummond head, boy. Whew.
And, yeah. If Isaiah Stewart doesn't get all Mason Plumlee minutes, I will riot.
If you don't film it, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you about to be rioting, my guy.
I remember Nikola Mirotic bullied Drummond one time in a game. That's when I was finished with Drummond. After that happened, I was like, okay.
Bro, didn't AD drop like 60 on him?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro! I remember watching that. I felt so bad for him, bro. I was like, "Fuck, bro! Like, what do you do? Like, you can't even do nothing right now."
I went to that game. I was just like, I picked the one game where he just lit us up. I'm like, holy shit, man! He couldn't miss a shot.
He wasn't, bro. He was taking like the turnaround fadeaways like like, aren't you a center? Like power forward? Like what the like the Kobe Art boys are like. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, Valanciunas used to give him fits too.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson dropped 30 and 20 on him.
Nah, for real though, who we getting in the draft? It's one of those top 5 picks, man. I just had up on my screen. I can't read them off now, but Mobley, I think, was one. Hopefully, Cade Cunningham. That'd be lit. That would definitely be ideal. But baby's crying before BM wakes up. I'm probably about to head out, fellas.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Fucking drop that link in the description, dog. Hook me up, man. I'm only 50 away, man.
For sure. So we're gonna wrap it up, you guys. If you're not subscribed to Speakeasy Sports, I will leave a link in the description. Go subscribe to them. Really close to 1,000. I think you said like 950. We'll probably do above the rim. I think either they didn't do it this Wednesday, did they?
No, they didn't. I thought they were too, because that was yesterday, right? The James Harden trade. I thought we were about to do one, but
yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they'll do one this Saturday. I think they're just kind of drained from the season and they're already done.
I feel that. I can feel that though for sure.
Yeah. But thank you guys for hopping on, Ben.